Okay, make sure that your homework is out from yesterday, as well as 3 different colored highlighters or pens, or markers, matte pencils. You need 3 different colors. If you don't already have that, please pause the video so that you can get ready. Okay, here is the key from yesterday's homework. If there are any questions, please pause and let us know. All right, guys, today we're going to continue talking about similar figures. So yesterday, I know that my guys, you did a Nearpod, and everyone else, you did a discovery. But hopefully you learned a few of these things already just based on yesterday. But today we have some notes, okay? So congruent figures are polygons that have both the same size and the same shape. So that means they are totally duplicates of each other, okay? But similar figures are polygons that have the same shape but different size. Similar figures, and that's what you should have learned about yesterday, okay? Corresponding parts means having the same location, okay? All right. 2 polygons are similar if, and this is a big if, it has to be 2 true things. If their corresponding angles are congruent and the lengths of corresponding sides are proportional. Okay, so hold up. Corresponding angles must be congruent and corresponding sides are proportional. Okay, so let's go through this because right now you may be like, well, what does that mean? Okay, so here's where you could use your highlighters. Okay, so if I'm highlighting, you could be highlighting in different colors. All right, so the first question they're asking me is about A. All right, angle A. Well, I see another angle with the same degree measure of 102. So that means which angle corresponds with angle A? That would be angle D. I can tell because it has the same measure. All right? Let's pick up another one. Angle B is 44. Well, then the one that's 44 is angle E. And then on the last one, I can either highlight if I want to, or I could just leave it empty, whatever makes your heart happy. But angle C was 34, and therefore angle F was also 34. Okay? So the question says here, does each angle and its corresponding angle have the same measurement? Yes. So that's the first step. We're basically saying, are these 2 triangles similar? Okay, so in order for them to be similar, we said that the corresponding angles have to be congruent. So far, so good. So far, if I was checking, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? Now, I want to check to see if their sides are proportional. Well, which side corresponds to AB? AB is this one right here, correct? So I'm going to put a little mark on that one just so I know what I'm talking about. AB was that one. Well, that would correspond to this one right here. See how it's between the yellow and the green on my paper? So the side that corresponds would be DE. All right? Which side corresponds to CD? CD is this one down here that's located between the green and the blue. So green and the blue is this one right here. So that would be EF. And then AC, I could put 3 marks or I could leave it blank, would correspond to DF. All right? So now that we know what corresponds, that just means it's in the same location, let's talk about these ratios. It says, what is the ratio of side AB length of its corresponding side? Okay, so AB is how much? AB is 4, okay? Its corresponding side, see, I have that right there. Its corresponding side, DE, is what? 12, correct? And so as a ratio, I can simplify that down to 1/3, all right? Look at the next side. BC was 7, and its corresponding side was 21. And what does 7/21 reduce down to? 1/3. The last one, the ratio of side AC was 5, and its corresponding side was 15, which also simplifies down to 1/3. What are the ratios equal to in lowest terms? 1/3. Are all three ratios equal? Yes. Therefore, they are similar. Okay, so remember, we said at the beginning that corresponding angles must be congruent and the lengths of corresponding sides must be proportional. Because both of these are true, then these are similar triangles. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, I knew they were similar because they look similar in the first place, but don't always go by what it looks like. Okay? All right. On the back, it says to determine whether each pair of polygons is similar, and then explain. Okay, so let's do the first one together. All right. So I would create a ratio. First of all, 8 would correspond to 10, correct? So 8 corresponds to 10, and 10 corresponds to 14. Does everybody see where I got those? Okay. Is that an equivalent ratio? No. I hope everyone's saying no. Because that would be 4/5, and that would be 5/7, and so those are not equivalent ratios. Okay? Another way I could have proven this is I could have said, well, on the same shape, instead of going between them, I could have said 8 to 10 and 10 to 14. And again, those would not be equivalent. Okay? I just said the exact same thing twice, but I was looking at it different. On the first one, I was looking between the two shapes, and then second time, I was looking within the two shapes. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and try this second one on your own. Please pause the video. Okay, let's go ahead and check this one. So I could say that 10 corresponds with 8, and 7 corresponds with 6. Are those an equivalent ratio? Hopefully you said no. If you work this out on your calculator, 10/8 was equivalent to 1.25, and 7/6 was equivalent to 1.16 for heating. So no, these would not be proportional, and I also forgot to write that on the first one. No, they are not. Okay? Okay, on the next one, it says to complete each congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side, all right? So you might see this one of two ways, okay? If you see how it says triangle DEF is similar to KJI, we're looking for FD, okay? So guess what? There's two ways to do this. I can actually ignore the picture altogether if I want to. FD is what they wanted, right? F to D. Well, if I take my pen and draw F to D, all I have to do is do it in the exact same manner here. Because what we're saying is that D goes with K, E goes with J, F goes with I. So if I want FD, then I can just draw it in the exact same place, and I can see that IK corresponds to FD. Okay? Another way to look at it is FD on the picture is the one down here with these 3 marks. Okay? Those 3 marks, oh, there's 3 marks, and then just name it. So that would be IK. All right? All right, guys, you can try the next one, please. Pause the video. Okay? Hopefully, angle A, one of 2 ways to look at this. You could see that angle A is in the middle, and the one in the middle is angle M. Or I see that angle A has 2 marks right here. So the one with 2 marks over here is angle M. Be careful, especially when looking at the pictures, because they tend to turn things all around. Okay? All right. Let's look at this one. Figure JKLM is similar to PQRS. Which proportion must be true for these figures? All right. The first thing I would do before I even get started with these, because this seems like a really easy question, but it's also really easy to get it wrong, okay, is to do what I call marking it up, okay? So first, J, K, L, M, P, Q, R, S. Notice how I've stacked them on top of each other? I'm just showing myself that J goes with P. So if you want to pick up your highlighter, J goes with P. All right, K goes with Q, L goes with R, and then M goes with S. Okay, pause here if you need to finish highlighting. Hopefully now that you've marked it up, you can see that the shape has simply been rotated, all right? Another thing that we could have done is to mark it up with the symbols like 1 goes to 1, and either way, for those of you that don't like to deal with colors. Okay? Now, what we're asking you is, and I need to rewrite these, it may be a little bigger for me. So, QR, this is just F, over QP equals JK over LM. Okay? So, which one is QR? Find QR. Okay? QR is this one right here. And they're saying to put QP. Okay? That's fine. So far, so good. But now they did JK over here. Oops, I should put 2 over here. JK. So I started with this one, which was between my green and my blue. But look, then they started between there. Do those correspond? These guys do not correspond with each other, so it can't be that one. All right? There's another way you can mark this up. I'm actually going to, I think I want to redraw it or erase it. I'm going to use the markings on this for a second. And I'm going to show you one more thing. Another way to do this, okay, is to take your highlighter, QR, which was this one here. You see how it went from 2 to 3, and then they did QP. Now go back with your first one and see if this matches. JK. See how it did? It went from 1 to 2, so it's not a match. It's just another way to show it. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. So QR over KL equals RS over JK. Okay, so I'm going to erase this highlighting here best I can. Put it here. Maybe it would be better just to start over each time. Okay, so this time I've got QR, which is this one here, and then KL. So they went between the 2 shapes. And so first of all, are we good so far? Yes, because that is is corresponding parts on different shapes that you're okay so far. Now, our S is this one up here, which they did go back to the original shape, so I'm looking good so far. And now JK. Uh-oh, do you guys see a problem? See how those don't match? So this one makes that one wrong. Okay? Let's write down another one. QR over NJ, PQ over LN. Okay? This time we're going to do it with the letters, because I know some of you like to do it with the letters instead of the shape itself, and we'll see how that goes. All right? So QR over MJ. Do you see how that doesn't work? They're not in the same location, and even though they're on different shapes. So that can't be it. So I hope that the last one is right. Let's see. QR over KL equals PS over JM. And I'm actually going to use the letters again. Hopefully it'll be just as easy as it was last time. Okay, JKLM PQRS. All right, here we go. So QR over KL. Does that look good so far? Yes. And then they went, and we started with this one. They went back to that original one, PS over JM. Does it match? Yes. Because we know that that's the answer, let's go ahead and also show it on the shape. That's what I want you guys to see. Okay? Let's highlight this because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to highlight. Okay, so it went QR, which is this one right here, QR over KL. And so see how it went 2 to 3, 2 to 3, so we were good so far? Now it went PS back to the original shape over JM. So 1 to nothing, 1 to nothing, and so it works. All right. Now, I have a question over here that says, can you write another proportion that must be true for these figures? So I'd like for you to go ahead and pause it and write your own. All right, I would love for some of you to share your answers. So if you would like to share and then pause, and then I'm going to put some that I wrote. I wrote ML over SR equals JK over PQ. I also wrote JM over JK equals PS over PQ. I wonder if any of you guys wrote any of the same thing that I did. Okay, now look at the next picture. This is called a nested triangle. Okay, and you may or may not have heard the term nested before, like nested tables are those tables that there's like a big one or a small one, or like those Russian dolls that like you have a set and you open up the first set like an egg, and then there's another one inside, and you open it up and there's another one inside, and you open it up and there's another one inside. Those are called nested dolls. Well, these are nested triangles, okay? And so I wrote that note here. When dealing with nested figures, always draw them separately first. Then write a proportion that supports these similar triangles, okay? So what I mean is draw 2 different triangles, unnest them. Label BDE, BAC, okay? And then you could write a proportion that goes with these, okay? Like BD over BA, BE over BC. Okay, there's a whole bunch that you could write, okay? But please make sure that you unnest them first. All right, you guys, so the next 2 pages, I'd like for you to do these as partner practice, 1 through 10. About 10 minutes should be enough, and then you can check. So pause the video, please, here. All right. Here is the key. So you'll want to pause here to check. Okay. Hopefully you got any questions that you had answered. And then finally, here's your homework. This shouldn't take you very long at all. And a reminder that your Canvas minor is due tomorrow night by 11:59 p.m. That is a minor grade that is due tomorrow night.